Welcome to our finance and business development channel, where smart planning meets disciplined execution and every insight guides you toward lasting financial freedom. Today we will discuss about from barter to digital currency 8 phases that changed your purchasing power. So let's dive in. Have you ever wondered why a crumpled piece of paper in your wallet can buy you a coffee, but a beautiful, unique rock you found on vacation can't? What's even scarier is that most of the money in the world today doesn't physically exist at all. It's just numbers on a screen. And that one simple fact affects inflation, your savings, and the cost of living more than most people realize. Today we're going on the absolutely ridiculous journey of how humans went from trading chickens to trusting invisible digital numbers. We're going to explore why that trust might be the most fragile thing in the entire global economy. And yes, we're going to talk about crypto, but not yet. Because if you don't understand what came before it, crypto makes absolutely no sense. Let's start at the beginning. Phase 1, barter. Picture this. It's 10,000 years ago. Bob, the caveman, has 5 coconuts, but what he desperately needs is a new spear. And Sally, down the path, she has spears. But today, she's just not in the mood for coconut milk. She wants berries. Sounds simple, right? Except it's a complete nightmare. What if Bob only needs half a spear? You can't exactly break one in two. What if Sally agrees to take the coconuts, but not until next week? By which time Bob's coconuts have turned into prehistoric guacamole. This was humanity's first financial crisis. And it teaches us the first big lesson. Money exists because trading things directly is a logistical headache. And that problem hasn't gone away. It's just gotten a lot more expensive. So, humans got creative. This was phase 2. This seems like a good idea. Money, cattle became a form of currency. They were valuable, sure, but not exactly pocket-sized. Try making change for a cow. Shells were portable, which was an improvement, but good luck buying a house with a backpack full of seashells. Salt was so valuable, it literally gave us the word salary. Different civilizations picked wildly different things. Ancient China used cowrie shells, and on the Pacific islands of Yap, they used giant stone discs called rice stones. Some of them weighed as much as a car. Get this, these stones didn't even move. Ownership just changed. People would agree that a stone now belonged to someone else, even if that stone was sitting at the bottom of the ocean after a shipwreck. Imagine explaining to your landlord that your rent payment is technically in a coral reef somewhere. This is the crucial part. Money doesn't need to be useful. It just needs to be trusted. And that single idea still controls your paycheck today. Eventually, humans hit the jackpot. Gold and silver. They were durable. They were divisible into smaller pieces. They were portable, and they were just scarce enough to hold their value. For the first time, money worked across borders, which is a big reason why empires suddenly exploded in size. But of course, a new problem emerged. How do you know that coin is actually gold? And how do you make change when something costs, say, 3 1/2 coins? This led to the rise of money changers, the world's first bankers. They'd weigh coins, test their purity, and facilitate trade. Were they helpful? Sometimes. Were they trustworthy? Let's just say not always. And this is where the first seeds of distrust in financial institutions were planted. Then the rulers had a brilliant idea. Phase 4, governments take over. They started stamping their faces onto coins and essentially said, "This is real. Trust us." And for a while, it worked until it didn't. Because once rulers controlled the currency, they discovered something dangerous. They could secretly mix cheaper metals like copper into the gold coins, create more money for their treasuries, and keep the real gold for themselves. This was debasement, and it was humanity's first real taste of inflation. With more or less valuable coins in circulation, prices for everything started to rise. People's savings lost value. And as always, regular people paid the price. As global trade exploded, carrying around massive sacks of coins just became ridiculous. So, China invented paper money. This was phase 5. When the idea reached Europe, they thought it was insane. Convincing people to trade real, heavy gold for a flimsy piece of paper required a massive leap of faith. Banks stepped in and made a promise. We'll hold your gold for you in our secure vaults. You just carry this convenient piece of paper instead. And then they quietly realized something world-changing. They could issue more paper than the gold they actually had in the vault. This worked beautifully until everyone got scared and wanted their gold back at the same time. Cue the bank runs, the financial collapses and panics that make our modern recessions look tame. This is the moment money stopped being about intrinsic value and started being purely about belief. Fast forward to the 20th century, Phase 6, Fiat. Governments around the world officially abandoned the gold standard. Money now had value simply because the government said so. Period. This system called fiat currency allowed for massive, unprecedented economic growth. But it came with a huge trade-off. Money could now be created out of thin air. And that means a few things became permanent features of our economy. Inflation became normal. Your savings quietly lost purchasing power every single year. The cost of living just kept climbing. If you've ever wondered why your grandparents could buy a house and raise a family on a single salary, and today that feels completely impossible, this is a very big reason why. Then money disappeared. Phase 7, the invisible shift. Credit cards, online banking, digital transfers. Today, more than 90% of all money exists only as numbers in computer databases. There's no cash. There's no metal. There's just trust. Pure abstract trust in the banking system. And this is where things get really controversial. Because when money's already digital, the next step was almost inevitable. In 2009, an anonymous person or group called Satoshi Nakamoto asked a dangerous question. What if money didn't need governments or banks at all, and Bitcoin was born? Phase 8, the crypto experiment. It was a new kind of currency with no central authority, a public ledger that anyone could see, and rules that were enforced by computer code, not by politicians or bankers. Supporters call it financial freedom. Critics call it chaos. Bitcoin's price has swung so wildly. It's terrible for buying groceries, but amazing for starting arguments at family dinners. And yes, it's volatile. Yes, it uses a lot of energy. And no, it has not replaced traditional money. But it did something incredibly powerful. It reminded the entire world that money, all money, only works because we collectively agree that it does. It's a shared story we all choose to believe in. Which brings us to today, the future. We live in a bizarre mixed system. We have physical cash, digital bank payments, and cryptocurrencies all swirling around together. And on the horizon are government-issued digital currencies. The future of money is not settled, and that uncertainty directly affects inflation, your savings, your financial freedom, and your trust in the institutions that run the world. Whether you love crypto, hate it, or honestly don't care, you are living through one of the biggest monetary experiments in all of human history. So the next time you tap your phone to buy a coffee, just take a second to remember what's really happening. You're not just spending money. You're participating in a system built on thousands of years of trial, error, greed, innovation, and above all else, trust. Money might seem boring, but it's actually one of humanity's strangest and most powerful inventions. If even one habit from today's video changes the way you think about money, then you're already ahead of where you were before. We put a lot of effort into researching, structuring, and explaining these ideas clearly. So if you found value in this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful, practical content that breaks down money, investing, and long-term wealth in a simple, realistic way. In our future videos, We'll keep exploring smart money rules, real financial examples, and quiet strategies that actually work in real life, not hype or shortcuts. Thank you for watching. And remember, the habits you build today quietly shape the freedom you enjoy tomorrow.